Hello and welcome to the Petticoated Swashbuckler. My name is Maren and today it is spooky season. So when you're watching this, I'm in Scotland. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm going for a romantic era retreat. I've been preparing for this since May. And I'm finally going. I'm so excited. There will be a video on this trip up when I get home. But for now, I have one very important thing left that I needed to make. Because, you see, we're going to be in Scotland over Halloween. And I need a costume. So, was Halloween a thing in the 1830s? Yes and no. So, of course, Halloween has been a thing for centuries, thousands of years. People have had various sorts of autumn festivities, very often sort of connected with some sort of remembrance of the dead. And this has happened for thousands of years and all over the world. Celtic, Slavic, Germanic peoples, they've marked the end of summer and the start of winter with some sort of late October festival sort of thing. A lot of the elements that we think of as sort of quintessential Halloween are Celtic, from Celtic I'm so bad at Celtic. Samhain? It's written Samhain, but it's not pronounced Samhain. I'm sorry to all Celtic speaking people. I think Samhain is not horrible. So, for example, carving faces in vegetables to keep away evil spirits. That's a Celtic tradition. It used to be turnips and not pumpkins, but you know, times change. And then all of this got mixed up with the Catholic Church's All Saints' Day or All Hallows' Day, which means, you know, the day for all holy people. And so All Hallows' Eve became the night before All Hallows' Day. Just like Christmas Eve is before Christmas Day. Or in Norway we have Easter Eve before Easter Sunday. I don't know if you have that in English. Anyway, this all got sort of mixed up and All Hallows Eve became Halloween. The tradition of dressing up is also very, very old. Often connected with autumn or winter. It's very often a Christmas tradition, actually, dressing up to scare away evil spirits or as a sort of ritual where you go from door to door. In Norway, we used to have people dress up and go from door to door to eat snacks and drink alcohol. And then later it was sort of child-friendlied by taking away the alcohol and having children go from door to door instead. But this is still a tradition. In Sweden, they have children dress up as witches at Easter and go from door to door. So this sort of dressing up and going around to neighbours, this is also very, very old. In Britain, both in the autumn and for Christmas, you could have poorer people who would go from door to door and they would receive a special kind of cake called a soul cake, and in exchange for that they would pray for your soul, so you would spend less time in purgatory. So all of this remembering the dead, dressing up, like hiding your true self with a mask or some sort of decoy faces, and remembering the dead. Very, very old traditions, all of them. Now, I haven't found a lot of images of romantic era Halloween celebrations. That doesn't mean that it didn't happen. It just means that I've had very limited time to do research into that for this video. We do know that romantic era people were very much into their gothic, scary stuff. I mean, this is the time period that gave us Frankenstein. And Mary Shelley was definitely, you know, the OG goth girl. So we know that gothic, scary, horror story things excited them. We know that they like dressing up. Very often I've seen people dress up in a sort of more carnival type situation. So in the spring instead of in the autumn, but they still love dressing up. So, you know, dressing up is definitely a thing. Halloween was a thing. Why not? Now, I want to make my costume my Halloween costume in sort of two parts. So for one thing, I want to make an evening dress. I want to make a very dramatic, black, exciting evening dress. But I want to be able to wear it as an evening dress. I don't only want to wear it as a Halloween costume. But then I want to make a Halloween costume to put like on top of the evening dress. And after some debate and some deliberation, I've decided to dress up as a Black Widow because that's funny, with the sort of Marvel universe elements to it. It feels suitably Halloweeny to dress up as a spider, and I love spiders. I had a small panic when I realised that Black Widows are American, but they were known in Europe, and there is also a European kind of Black Widow that lives around the Mediterranean, so it's all fine. Crisis averted, and Black Widow it is. Now, I first made the evening dress, and I didn't film a lot of it because by now you've seen me make about half a dozen 1830s dresses, but I made it like the others. I cut pieces from my outer fabric, I cut lining pieces, I interlined the bodice and stitched that up, I trimmed the bodice, I hemmed and trimmed the skirt, I attached the two together. I spent definitely the most time on the sleeves, making big puffed sleeves and then very big black organdy sleeves on top of those, and then some dramatic pointy over sleeves on top of that again. And I'm very, very excited about this dress. I'm excited to show you. And now for the costumey part. I began by making myself a spiderweb skirt. On top of the skirt and all the petticoats, I placed a black ribbon around the waist. I then tied white string from the black ribbon sort of all around, reaching not quite to the trim on the hem, but nearly. And then I tied white strings between the vertical strings to create a sort of spiderweb. I expected this to take a lot of time. It didn't. It was fairly quick and very funny. I then made an eye mask, because of course spiders have 8 eyes. So I cut a piece of the same black organdy that I'd used for my sleeves. Actually, I used the rest of my black organdy from the sleeves. Just had that hemmed and folded in. I stitched 8 large greyish black buttons to the front of that, mimicking the eye placement on a spider. And then I drew some glare on those eyes with just like a silver pen. For the hourglass shape on the stider belly, I cut an hourglass shape out of red wool and black cotton lining, and also some tarlatan just to stiffen it up a little bit. I placed all of those on top, stitched them together, cut away the tarlatan, cut corners, turned, pressed, and attached a loop on the back to fit over a belt. Then onto the spider body and legs. I bought a round pillow at IKEA, and I made a pillow cover for this from a black cotton. On one of the black cotton sides, I attached some red wool dots. On the other side, I attached some loops to go over a belt. I stitched these together, I put the pillow in, I hand stitched that close. Then came the longest task of this project, which was stuffing all of the legs. I bought some black kids' stockings, and my rationale being that they could have had black stockings in the period, and if some of them are beginning to be worn out, why not stuff them up and use them for spider legs? So I bought 4 pairs of black kids' stockings. I cut off so I had just the legs, and I stuffed with some pillow stuffing. This is cotton fluff, cotton wool, and then I stitched those closed and stitched the legs to the back side of the round pillow. And finally, I tied some fishing line between all the legs and some ribbons that I can tie to my wrists so that when I lift my hands, the spider legs go up. And where I tied the fishing line, it looks like the spider leg has joints. And with all of that done, I now have no less than 2 outfits to show off.
vi gå på badet? Skal du være med?
I am so proud of this. It took me less than a week to make the black dress. It took me about a week to make the spider costume. That's some sort of personal record for me. And I'm so proud of them, and I think they look lovely, and I'm so proud of everything I've made for this project. I've been working on this, like I said, since May. It's been a very big part of my life for a lot of months now. I'm so excited to finally go out there and use it all. And yeah, I'm excited to go to Scotland, in case you haven't been able to tell. I'm excited to tell you all about it. But for now, have a happy spooky season and goodbye.